Thank you. Ed Garren is next.
Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. Some of you may know the song, "There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason I'm feeling so high. Must be the season to let your love light shine." That song, which is recently in a Toyota Prius commercial, was written by the Bellamy brothers, Howard and David, who I went to high school with in Dade City, Florida, population 3,000, where most of the frozen concentrated orange juice was made. And I also lived through the civil rights movement and the end of segregation and the colored and white signs coming down. And the reason I'm telling you all of that is because I do talk about the place where I spent the last 22 years of my life before I moved here, which is called Los Angeles. But I don't want you to think that I'm this city slicker who's never lived in the country or doesn't appreciate the things that Portlanders value. In fact, that's one of the reasons I moved here. So, I ended up on Hayden Island. I was here 2 years ago. I want to thank Rose City Park Neighborhood Association again for having this candidate forum. Last time I was here, I talked about stopping the Walmart on Hayden Island and proposing the moratorium that did that. I was co-chair of the Hayden Island Plan Steering Committee, and I have Pamela Ferguson here, who is the chair of my local homeowners association. And she can tell you about how basically after 3 years of working with the Environmental Justice Group of the CRC, we have organized the trailer park, and we're getting ready to file a lawsuit against the CRC because they continue to ignore the environmental and livability issues of our community. And I'm very proud to say that I was like the ground zero tenacious person who would just not give up. And that's the kind of leadership I hope to bring to City Hall. Now, there's lots of good ideas. I agree with what Jesse said. I agree with buy local. I absolutely agree with the jobs issues. And I come from that little town that I grew up in. Over 50% of the people were on welfare or some other form of public assistance 6 months out of the year. I went to school with kids who had different sneakers fished from different garbage cans and dumpsters, and the dropout rate was 70%. Of the high school freshmen never finished high school. So I really do understand a lot of these issues. And the flip side is, I'm from a state that took a piece of mosquito-infested sand spit and reinvented it into Miami Beach. Now think of what we could do with Portland. There's a few specific things that I think we could focus on. The mayor has recently come out with the pilot program for people to upgrade their houses to be more energy efficient, and it comes out of your electric bill. And I agree that if we can streamline the permitting process on that, and more importantly, go back to the federal government through our congressional delegation and say, look, half the carbon that's produced in our region is produced by our houses that are energy inefficient. Let's get some very low interest leveraging money to retrofit our houses for optimal energy efficiency. And the other one that nobody's talking about, seismic. We have a big earthquake coming that's going to make Portland look like Port-au-Prince if we don't do something to reinforce our houses and bolt them down and make them able to withstand that type of an earthquake. And having lived through the Northridge earthquake in Los Angeles, as well as the Whittier quake and a couple of other quakes, I have firsthand experience of what that is like. So there's a lot of good ideas. I like to think that what I'm good at is identifying people who are good at thinking through ideas, collaborating. You know, I didn't stop the CRC by myself. I found some key people in my neighborhood who were very sharp and some other resources in the community and put them together so that we could actually do something. The other thing I need to say is very quickly, I spent 6 years working with the LA Police Department and the Long Beach Police Department on diversity issues, excessive force issues, community policing, and all of these kinds of issues. And as far as I know, nothing personal, Dan, I'm the only person in this race who has that kind of direct hands-on experience working with law enforcement communities that are afraid of change, that are afraid of looking at their own dark side and moving forward to be not only more accountable, but more involved with the lives of the people that they're sworn to protect and serve. So that's a little nutshell about me. Pam, hold the card up. There's a lot more at my website, which is edforpdx.com, edforpdx.com. Lots of good stuff, and I'm certainly willing to participate in the Q&A later on. Thank you very much.